In this episode, Ryan shares a tactic he has been exhausting for many years to get any property with a 50% discount off the asking price. This penthouse was on the market for $1.1 million and £4,500 rent per month. Ryan gets this agreed at half price, and later, the agent then blocks the deal and costs the owner nearly £30,000. You'll learn in this episode how to structure deals with 50% discounts, keeping the owner happy, and of course you'll be happy too, paying half price for properties. Let me know what you think of this episode by leaving Ryan a review. Nothing but the truth on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday you'll get nothing but the truth. This offensive and explicit episode covers current issues, trending topics, and more that will punch you in the face with the truth. If you can't handle that, don't listen, because Ryan does not hold back. And if you're up to no good, we're watching.
Hey podcasters, I hope everybody is well on this fine day. What is the day today? Tuesday, the 18th of August. Just a quick podcast episode. I just want to just tell you a story. I'm sitting outside a letting agency right now. I'll tell you exactly where I am, in Brighton Marina. I'm sitting outside the letting agency, and every day I go past and I see their faces in there, I just laugh. Let me explain why I laugh. Because they have cost one of their landlords probably, let me think off the top of my head, thousands, absolute thousands, by not just doing what they're supposed to do and putting the offers forward that I've made through the agency to the landlord. Because they're like just blocking offers. Let me explain what I mean by that and how much money they've lost and cost their landlord. Well, the rent was about £4,500 a month on this penthouse property. I looked at it over a year ago now. The landlord wanted to sell the property for about $1 million or 1.1 it was on for. I came along and offered to rent the property until it sold. Now, I wanted to move into this penthouse, and I just knew there is absolutely no way on earth this property is going to sell in the next year, maybe even in the next 3 years at that price. It will probably need about 15 years, maybe 7 to 10 years in reality, for the market to rise to reach the price that they wanted, which was a 1.1 million. Now, it is a beautiful place. It's the penthouse. It's got, I don't know, probably 1,000 square feet. No, probably bigger. I think it's about 1,700 square foot roof terrace on the top. It's got, I don't know, like a little hot tub, like a bloody small pool on the top in the marina overlooking the sea. It's like the whole back of the building. Yes, I understand they rented it to footballers. Yes, I understand they rent it for a fortune in the summer. But it was up for $4,500 a month, and there was no way that they're going to get that in the winter when I found them, or found the deal at the end of last summer. Was it the end of last summer? No, it wasn't the end of last summer. Sorry. It was early last year. It wasn't the end of the summer. Hold on a minute, I'm getting confused. No, I'm wrong. It was actually at the end of the summer last year, and there was no way they were going to get summer rates, okay? So what I did is I went to meet them, I viewed the property, I said, look, to be totally honest, if you did any searches on the internet online, I have a company. My company is a very, large short letting company. We got properties in 6 cities, and that's not what I want to do with this particular property. This property, I want to move into it. Me to live there, my son to live there, and my partner to live there. So that was the deal. So cards on the table. Hello. Yes, my company wants to rent it. Just so you know, before we go any further, I do own a short let company. But this won't be a short let. I want to move in there. So, yeah, it was around about $4,500. I got it agreed at $2,250. That's more or less exactly half, right? Maybe you won't believe that, but we're getting 40, 50, 60, 70% off rents all day long in property at certain times of the year for certain deals when certain conditions are being met, okay? So, yeah, that's just a normal deal for us, getting a deal at half price. So, when I put the offer in, they was talking to the landlord, and the landlord said, He wanted 2.5 or 2,800, a bit of negotiation. We managed to get to a figure at 2,250, and then they said it needs to be 2.5. So I came back and said, fine, if we can do the deal, I'll do it at 2.5. So I put the 2.5 in. The landlord already said if it's 2.5, he'll take it. So I went up £250, said yes, I'll take it, just until the property has been sold. So technically it's on like a notice. As soon as they've exchanged contracts, they'll give me notice, and there's no AST, different type of contract, then I would have to happily move out. So it wouldn't hinder the sale or, cause an eviction or anything like that. So they have maximum security and money coming in, lower amount of money coming in, because they can't obviously issue an AST, even though I knew there's no way they're going to sell that property. Anyway, so I'm looking on the internet. It's up for sale for 1.1 million. I've gone up to the figure that they asked for, and then I get nothing comes back from the agent after I've gone to the figure that they said. Nothing at all. Then I wait a few days, I make a couple of phone calls, ring them back and say, hello, what's going on? And the lady that I was dealing with is not there. She's away, or she's training or something. So I was like, okay, we'll give her a few more days. A week has gone by. I call back and say, hello, I'm calling back. What's going on? And she's not taking my calls, not replying to my emails. I was like, what the fuck is going on with this fucking girl in this fucking letting agency? I mean, who is she? Fucking security for the fucking Queen? She's a fucking letting agent. Anyway, excuse me for ranting a little bit. So, I just walk in there one day, about a week later, and say, hello, I put an offer in on this flat. You guys asked for a higher figure. I came up to the higher figure. I was told it was all agreed. I'm waiting for you to come back to me, and I've heard nothing. What's going on? And then they say, yeah, you're the short letting guy, aren't you? I was like, no. They're like, well, you want to short let the property. You want to put it on Airbnb, don't you? I was like, no. You must have me confused with somebody else. Then they say, well, hold on a minute. I thought that the girl or whoever it is that works in their team said that you run a short letting company. I was like, oh, hold on a minute. Yes, I'm not the Airbnb guy. I'm not going to put it on Airbnb. I do own a short letting company. Yes. Is that a problem? And then he said, yeah, we just changed our mind. Not the landlord. We just changed our mind because we think you're going to put it on Airbnb. I said, hold on a minute. Let's just go back and start from the beginning so there's no misunderstandings here. I own a company which does run short lets and relocations. I own a company that buys property and sells property. I own a company that is now into hotels, so we also acquire hotels. I own a company that owns lots of, or leases lots of, student properties. So yeah, am I the student guy? So I said there must be some misunderstanding. I have various companies. I'm a businessman in property, but I was completely open and honest at the start, and I told you guys at the first viewing that I have this company, I have that company, and something else, and short lets, but this is for me and my children and my partner.
If you're a landlord and you don't know how to increase your rent up to 199% using Booking.com, then you're making a big mistake. Because every £1,000 of rent is now returning £3,000 every single month on Booking.com. And you never have to evict a tenant again. I'm serious. Anyways, I created an ebook. It's called The Rent Arbitrage Machine. So I can show you exactly how you can increase your rent up to 199% on your own rental properties. Just head over to theyrentanyhome.com/free book and just tell me where to send your free copy.
And then he said, yeah, well, that's the thing. You're just going to put it on Airbnb. And I said, where does this just keep coming from? Where does it keep coming from? Yes, I own a company that does that, but that's not my intentions, and that's not what I want to do, and I'm going to enter into any contract. You can have any clause in there to say that it can't happen. There's CCTV everywhere. You'll know the first guess. You'll see the bloody property on the internet if it's ever advertised and stuff like that. So no. I don't want to put it on Airbnb. So can we just start again and just get that out of the way? This is not going to go on Airbnb. I mean, fucking hell, because I have a company that does that and does student properties and does HMOs and does short lets and does developing and, you know, everything else, doesn't mean that I'm in any kind of conflict or I can't rent a property. I just want to rent it for me and my family. Anyway, so he said, oh, okay, yeah, you know, he didn't give a fuck, the guy, I could tell. He was like, yeah, well, yeah, I'll get back to the landlord and, you know, and explain that, and then we'll go from there. We'll call you back. I was like, okay. Nothing. Week goes by, 3 weeks goes by, 2 months go by, 6 fucking months go by, and nothing at all. They don't reply, they don't respond, they're just fucking rude. They're fucking letting agents. These ones, they're just agents. The fucking gatekeepers. Anyway, they were just rude, this particular girl. You know, thinking they're above people. Thinking they're above, I don't know, me, anybody. Just because they're like the gatekeeper, they're the agent. They're not even their fucking properties, they're the fucking agent. Anyway, riled. So I said, okay, fine, no worries. They didn't come back to me at all. That was the end of that. Now, obviously, I'm interested in the property. I'm looking out for the property. I'm looking at the property online. I can see it's for sale. I can see months later it hasn't sold. I can see it's up for rent and everything else at $4,500. And just nothing. They don't sell it. They don't rent it. So then I come back to them about a month ago. So a month ago, I can still see the property is available. I call the sales department. Hello, sales department. Is this property available to buy? I'm interested in buying. Yes, it's available for sale. 1.1 bloody million. Okay. Any interested parties? Any offers? You know, anything going through? I don't want to waste my time. Nope. It's just on the market for sale. Come and have a viewing. Come and put an offer in. Okay. Phone goes down. Boop. I'm not ringing them back again. I'm not going there to put an offer in. I just wanted to know that it hasn't fucking sold. The property hasn't sold. A year later. Then I ring the lettings department. Hello, lettings department. It's me again. You didn't come back to me before. I can see the property is still available to rent. And they're like, oh, no, it's been sold. I'm like, okay. The property didn't sell because I've just been transferred from your sales department who said the property hadn't sold. So if it has sold, that's fine. But if it hasn't sold, it's available to rent. Is it available to rent? And then they say some crap about, oh yeah, okay, oh sorry, it hadn't sold, we had an offer, and I think they pulled out, so now it's back for rent. The fucking truth is, it never fucking sold. It's been available to rent the whole fucking time. It's been fucking empty for nearly a year. I offered them £250. They asked for £2,500. Let's do that on the calculator now. £2,500 over about 11 months. Let's have a look at that. So £2,500 times 11 months is 27,500, right? So I said a little throwaway comment on the phone. I said, so hold on a minute. You agreed this with me last year that I could rent the property until it's sold. We agreed to figures. So you asked for 250 more. I went up to 250. You said yes. I waited for you to come back to me, and then you tell me that I can't because I'm going to put it on Airbnb. So I said, so let me get this straight. So you've actually lost the landlord, your client, £27,500 because you had me, and I would have been in there now, paid in advance, waiting for you to find the buyer to sell the property till then I move out on a notice. And then they just didn't say anything, just quiet, like. I was like, what type of agency are you? You've lost your client £27,500 with this overpriced fucking penthouse at the top of the building in the marina with a fucking mini pool, fucking 1,750 square feet, whatever it is, fucking roof terrace, and I come along and you just fucked it up, and you've lost your client $27,500. Okay. Anyway, does he want to do a deal? Or do you not want to do the deal? Because I thought he did want to do the deal last year. So do you want to do? Are you going to let us do the deal this time, or are you not? This is basically what I said. So I think I riled them a bit, and yeah, I probably said a little bit too much, to be honest. But I was just pissed. I could have been living there. And just the agent getting in the way has fucked up the whole process. Anyway, so I say, can we do a new deal? Is the property still available? Yes. Is it empty now? Yes. Has it sold? No. So it's available. Right, okay. Do you want to do a new deal? Okay, well, what new deal would you be offering? I will pay exactly the same as what I offered last year. You increase it by $250, so I'll pay $2,500 right now, exact same terms, on a notice until you've sold it. And I'll even pay in advance, whatever you want. 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, whatever you want till you've sold it. And then they say, yeah, but you're going to put it on Airbnb. I was like, for fuck's sake, not this crap again. I'm not the Airbnb guy. I haven't even had a property on Airbnb since 2016. When I left Airbnb and went exclusive on booking.com because I earned around 33% more profit, more money. So no, I haven't been on Airbnb since 2016. Anyway, I'm not the Airbnb guy. It's not going to go on Airbnb. You can have whatever securities, put it in a contract, keep my deposit if it appears or there's one guest who pays to stay there ever. I want to fucking live there with my son and my partner in this penthouse. Can we do a deal or not? And then they say the usual crap. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it to the landlord and then I'll come back to you. Okay, yes. That just means they're going to put the phone down and they've decided that they're not going to rent it to me for whatever reason, because they're idiots, half-wits. If I could get hold of their... Actually, do you know what? I might even go onto the land registry, try and find out who the owner is, and send him a fucking letter a week telling him how much money he's lost because of those half-wit agents in the fucking marina, because they were gatekeepers and they decided not to rent it to me when he decided that he would accept £2,500 a month from me, who knew my position, and then they just got in the way like a I don't know, an ugly girl with a pretty girl. When you go out, you know, this is years ago for me. I've got a partner now, so this is nothing to do with me. This is not how I behave. But for other people, or years ago when I was young, you go out, or let's refer to other people. They go out now. One boy, there's 2 boys, 2 girls. One boy likes one girl, the beautiful one, and then she has an ugly friend, okay? The big fat ugly friend, let's just say. So the big fat ugly friend is called the cock block. That's what the kids, the man dem, they say. Oh, she was a cock block, because you want to go off with that girl, and then the ugly one is saying, no, don't do that, don't go with him, don't give him your phone number, don't let him buy you a drink, don't go out with him, you can't do this, you can't do that. He's a cock block. That's basically what this agent is. So I'm going to call this agent from now on, or maybe just this particular person who works in the agency, and I can see her right now. I'm sitting outside and I can fucking see the bitch right now. Eh? This is my rant. I can see her now. So let's just keep an eye on the property and see how much more money she can lose her clients, because this agent is just losing money for their clients. Should I say what their name is? Probably not. That's a little bit unethical. I don't need to say what their name is, but hopefully one day they hear this episode, they listen to this podcast, they hear this episode, and they realise that they've just fucking lost their client $27,500 already, and we're approaching another month where it's going to be $30,000. It's still empty. No one's rented it. Fucking COVID has come along now. It's fucking summer. It's sitting empty. It hasn't sold. It's not going to sell at 1.1 million. Anyway, that's how you not to represent your clients, okay? So if anybody's got any properties in the marina, they should be very careful with a certain agency who is not putting offers forward to their landlords, who is getting in the way of deals, who is thinking that they're the owner of the property and they can decide. They're the fucking agent. Anyway, I've pulled up outside, about to go into the office. I can see the fucking lady in the office now. It just reminded me of this thing that's bugged me for the last year, or not even bugged me. It's just come back to my memory now. I've seen her as I'm just sitting outside in the marina going to the office. Anyway, hope you get some value from this episode. I would love to hear your thoughts on my rant. Peace.
He's a #1 Amazon bestseller. He's an NLP manipulator. He's a property course seller. He's a Lamborghini driving multi-millionaire property guru. Forget that same old boring I am me narcissistic podcast format, because nobody gives a fuck. This podcast is all about you. So I'm taking these few seconds to thank you for subscribing, to thank you for leaving your 5-star reviews, and thank you for sharing this show with all of your friends. My team and I will keep bringing you these episodes and answering all of your burning questions in my Facebook community group called Property Crash Course. If you can just keep telling all of your friends about this show.